What's good, guys? It's your boy CS. In this video, we are going to take a look at the charts. Finally, no more DJ meme stuff coming out of my mouth, right? So, without further ado, I will dip and dive into this. But I just want to play this back to you, which I said.
Well,
so
I'll
we can
tell
have a
you the
look.
bigger picture in just a second, which is, is this chart, which is the descending broadening wedge pattern.
Yeah, the descending broadening wedge
Ultimately,
pattern.
Bitcoin will do something
give
like
you
that. It'll
three
either
options
hit
here.
and then come back down. It'll go over and come back down.
Over and come back down.
It'll go over, retest,
and
come up,
retest.
retest, and then go. Remember,
Very,
we've got a
very
lot of
true.
time. We've got a lot of time because
we do
the
have a lot of time.
elections in the US is in November, and
elections
it
are,
usually
what,
doesn't
for another
rocket
2 weeks or
till
so?
around November. Don't get me wrong; you should be accumulating.
And I agree
around,
with this part as well. You should
at the
be
end of September and
accumulating.
October. So these
Hence
are
why I
definitely
put
dips to back.
shorts on a retrace. I don't personally feel that this is a super bearish pattern. Now, as we can see, we had the second option, which is we went over and now we've come back down. And I think we're just going to linger around here. But eventually what will happen, you've got to remember, people are getting excited, and it's great to get excited, but people are getting excited. So we could go like that. We could go over, come back down, or we could come over and just retest, and then finally go. There's a number of possibilities, but I feel like maybe, this is just my sentiment, we come back and then we have, at the start of the month in November, we have that nasty, that downwards spiral movement, which I say it's nasty, but it's good to get all of this out of the way at the start of the month, because then you've got the rest of the month to kind of like figure out and go long on. So yeah, we're not in a super rush right now to do much. Just get rid of these wicks. Because at the end of the day, this monthly in November is what I'm trying to figure out. Where is it going to come down to? And on the monthly, from what I can remember, we've always tested 61. Now, I want to see where October ends up. Do we end up above 67? Could we come back down to 64.5? And I think that's the way you need to play it, which is, could there be a wick down? Because if there is a wick down, we're going to retest here 64.6. If not, we hold 67.4. That's a guaranteed level that will get retested. So these are the things that I'm looking out for. Now, let's zoom out and look at my favorite one, which is the spider line historic support and resistance zone. So we're currently in this banding right now. It's not a bearish engulfing right now. We've got 4 days left, and we could power through this, right? We could really power through, make a charge by the end of this week, and then dip back down next week and have a monthly candle going down, right? That's what I'm kind of looking at here, because this next part of the resistance, that this turquoise banding, as you can see, it's quite a difficult area for Bitcoin to overcome. Can you see that? It's a really good support area, but it's also a very good resistance area. So once we flip it, that's going to be a massive, massive win, a massive dub for all Bitcoin longs. Also, what I'm looking at here is the other historic support and resistance zones, which are, we've kind of just broken out from. We've already talked about the descending broadening wedge. Point of control zone is very important. Like I said, this is where all the action, where all the volume happens. So Bitcoin has nicely bounced off this today. And what do you know? It's bounced off the 20 EMA that is within the point of control zone. So actually worked out quite perfect for Bitcoin, because in an upwards trend, you want them big tests here on the 20 EMA. So then we can now push on. So fantastic move by Bitcoin on there. And in terms of the USDT, the tether dominance, now I keep telling you, watch this white diagonal line. We've been following this since, since March, and we've not been able to get out of it. And last week was the first time we've actually concretely broken through the 5.31% area. And that means 4.79 is calling us. And then that massive yellow resistance line. Look how far this dates back to 2017. Could that be the end of alt season? I don't know. Could it be the start? Who knows? I'm looking for this purple box. I do think we are going to break it, but I expect huge amounts of resistance here for Bitcoin. Remember, it works inversely to the Bitcoin chart. Now, a few other things that I want to look at, which is, well, we can look at PopCat, like I keep saying to you. It's the Cardano of last cycle. It's the coin that just keeps on moving, the coin that keeps on gifting people, keeps on giving to people. Even if they don't deserve it, PopCat just keeps on sending and sending and sending. And it looks like it's on that parabolic trip, whether you like it or not. Now, I want to go into totals and see where we're at. You see, I'm looking for totals when we do have that parabolic move for us to get up here around 4 to 5 trillion. Might seem quite crazy right now because we're only at 2.236 trillion, but Bitcoin's high was at 3 trillion on the blow off top. And so I do expect us to get a blow off top around here. I really do. We could even go higher, but that's just me being, I feel, conservative about the whole thing. I've not done one for 2, but I've done one for 3 for all alts excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So naturally, Solana will lead this class. And yeah, if Bitcoin, all the alts, apart from Bitcoin and Ethereum, went to 1.112, I definitely think we've got 2 trillion in the cards. Definitely got 2 trillion on the cards at minimum. We could go even higher. Depends how wacky and zany people get. Like, 1 trillion is a lot. It's a lot to think about, but it's definitely possible if Bitcoin can go to like 5 or 6 or 7 trillion, right? Okay, and then the only other alt that we can see that's green is Solana. Solana's just smashing through, and it's usually a good sign because when we had that move when Solana moved the first time in October, what do you know? It's around the same time, the 23rd of October. 21st, 14th, yeah. Like, it's within October, Sol starts to run. On the 16th of October, 14th of October, it's starting to moon. And this is what Solana's going to do. It's just going to keep on mooning and mooning. It's a very good sign, guys. And like I keep saying, in my opinion, I'm buying this as dips. I'm buying this as an actual genuine dip because I'm zooming out on the chart. Other things that I've not really looked at because I've not really been focusing on leverage trading because I've got most of my stuff already in. But if we look at the wave patterns on the daily are actually flashing something very, very bad. That's very, very bad. I'll be honest with you. To have a divergence like that, that normally does signal way lower for Bitcoin, like way, way lower. So it's not a very good sign. If I go down onto some of the other ones at the 4 hour, well, it looks like they've already been hit. It's mainly the bigger wave patterns that are kind of smashing through. The smaller wave patterns, they've already kind of bottomed out. And if I can see in the 1 hour, the 1 hour is already printing a divergence and potentially a second divergence. So it's actually looking quite positive. And if you guys remember, I shared the open interest indicator, and I've not looked at this since, but there was a day where Coinbase's open interest matched with this open interest decline, which was that day, the 17th, when I shared it. So that was the last time I made a video, nearly about a week ago. And the next day, look at the open interest increase, the longs increase. And look now, a decrease has now just happened today. People are getting bored. There's all red. I don't want to buy. I don't want to buy. That's what people are going to do. So if we zoom in, let's see what open interest is saying now. And this is, by the way, shorts. Look, sorry, not shorts. This is just decline of open interest of longs. So a lot of longs have now exited the market on the 4 hourly. If we look on the 1 hourly, we're looking for like white candles, Purple candles indicate there's a massive open interest along. White candles indicate there's a massive open interest that has declined, meaning that actually this might be a good buy opportunity because retail's not interested. And look, we've got one in the last hour. We've had numerous ones, but this one in particular has kind of corroborated with this one here. So again, open interest is a massive thing. And looking at this divergence here, this just looks like a dip to me. Personally, it looks like a dip. And I've never once said, oh, this is just a normal dip. I've always been quite hesitant and said, yeah, we might have more downside. But if Bitcoin wicks up like this, like that, it's almost erased half of its gains in the full day, right? And then the next important thing we need to focus on is, of course, the S&P, which actually has taken a battering. I won't deny that. But it also has bounced off the 20 EMA, which is healthy. This is very, very healthy. I don't really care about the Nikkei too much, but the Dow and the S&P have also bounced off it. And it's a great correlation. Now, there's only half an hour before it ends. But I think tomorrow is a very key day. Like, do we get another touch? Do we get another bounce? What happens here? Like, when it touches the red ribbon, we get like 1, 2, 3, 4 touches nearly. This one we crash through. But generally in an upwards trend, when it starts in October, look, last year, October, we went on a full bull market. It didn't even really touch sometimes, but when it did, it held as massive support. And that's what you call a full uptrend, where it just glazes past the 20 EMA, just touches it, and then we're back on our way. And that's what I'm seeing right here on the SPX chart. So very positive momentum. As far as everything else, like Brett, for instance, already bounced. Look at that, back on the POC line, the horizontal support line. Very positive stuff. Very impressed. And to be honest, not a lot of them have really got that badly smashed. There's a couple of obviously like Jinan and stuff, but they got pumped. Reef, obviously, that's disappointing. But the majority of them haven't actually got that badly hit. Like Ponky, Pepe, Casper, Turbo, Floki. They've all retraced quite nicely, in my opinion. I don't think, it's really done too much damage. It looks quite healthy. And actually, if I look at the weekly candle, we've not even had a chance to move up. We've just been getting all downwards movement. And I think that's great. I think that's fantastic. Now that we've glazed off the 20 EMA, let's see where Bitcoin goes. All right, guys, that's just basically my quick update. I personally think it's a dip. But definitely position yourselves on when to long. Because as you saw, when a bull market starts, and I keep saying this to you guys, like, it's like my thoughts go on deaf ears. But October last year, look at that. If you just got in at 25k, you've done a 3x on a Bitcoin at its top, at its peak, right? So that wasn't even the proper bull market. This is the proper bull market now. So what do you expect can happen with Bitcoin when it actually does rally and it does have its Elliott wave or its impulse move up? It's going to go